Imagine holding someone's life in your hands. Not in a metaphorical sense, but in the physical, something real, tangible, where one small gesture, one small mistake could mean the difference between resustained life or painful death. Would you trust anyone to hold you in this way? You think about a lover, a friend, a coworker, even a stranger. Sometimes it's the only option. The lives a neurosurgeon are entrusted with are extensive. Anybody could need a neurosurgeon at any point in their life, whether it be a car wreck, a long-term illness, or something that shows up. You would wonder, what would make anyone crazy enough to want to take on a job with such responsibilities, with such consequences and stress? And as someone with firsthand experience with neurosurgery, I would like to explain what a neurosurgeon is, why they are important, and why I chose this as my future career. First and foremost, what is a neurosurgeon? A neurosurgeon does a plethora of brain surgery types. There are biopsies, which is removing a piece of tissue from the brain for testing for cancer or other issues. There's craniotomies, which are removing a piece of the skull to work on parts of the brain that are having issues, defective, or, like I've mentioned before, have tumors. There's also deep brain stimulation, where they put electrodes on parts of the brain in order to work as essentially a brain's pacemaker. And this works for people with Parkinson's disease or epilepsy that cause them to have tremors that are uncontrollable. Neurosurgeons also treat issues outside of brain surgery, like spinal surgeries, nerve surgeries, and even conditions such as stroke or tumor. Mayo Clinic neurosurgeons perform over 9,300 neurosurgeries a year. Now that we understand what neurosurgery is, you may be wondering, why would this be relevant to you? Anybody can be susceptible to need a neurosurgeon at any point in their life. Anybody is susceptible to getting in a car wreck that may damage the brain, their spinal cord, something that would cause them to have a life-changing surgery. You might even have a stroke. Even if something that requires a neurosurgeon does not directly affect you, there are extensive possibilities that may require you to value this knowledge. Imagine a family member or a friend has a life-altering treatment for any number of conditions, even cancer. Knowing what a neurosurgeon does can be a vital decision factor. And in my last point, I would like to address why I decided to choose neurosurgery as my career. When I was 10 years old, I broke my elbow jumping off of a chair. I spent 6 months in physical therapy doing everything right, only to be told that I am not getting better. I could not move my hand. I could not feel my hand. I was referred to a neurosurgeon at Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, named Dr. Robert J. Spinner. I went in for surgery with him thinking that there was no possibility that I could get better, because they told me that the window had passed. Even if they were to put this nerve back together, it would not take. Dr. Robert J. Spinner was able to find the nerve in a 6-hour surgery that was supposed to take 2 hours, and he put it back together with a very limited chance of it coming back to life. I now have some resustained feeling and movement in my hand, and because of him, I do not have a disabled hand. I am choosing this career for myself, not because I want the money from it. I want to change the course of someone's life the way Robert J. Spinner changed my life. I want to be able to save someone from debilitating back pain. I want to help someone with Parkinson's disease live a little bit longer, a little bit better. I want to save lives. My biggest strength is my problem solving. I am able to take a problem and piece it down into small chunks and solve little chunks at a time in order to put the big picture together. And using this strength would be immensely powerful in a neurosurgeon career. It would help me solve complex issues. Now that I have addressed what neurosurgeons do, why they matter, and why it is important to me to become a neurosurgeon someday, let me conclude with this. Neurosurgeons play a vital role in treating neurological conditions. Understanding what they do could be in the case of needing a neurosurgeon or someone you know needing a neurosurgeon, could be the difference between an informed decision for the better or an oblivious mistake for the worse. I hope this speech serves as an inspiration for individuals to research and seek out more information on neurosurgery and what neurosurgeons do, and understand that they are relevant to everyone, that they have a huge impact on society, and that they are vitally important to our medical system. This is Adrienne Corkill. Thank you. Here are each of my note cards.